Hello, we are Group 4 in Phonics and Phonology class. Today, we are presenting about Chapter 5, Stress in English. First of all, let me introduce my team. My team has 5 members. Nguyễn Trần Phi Lê, Lê Trần Viết Huynh, Chu Việt Khang, Phù Thị Linh, and Lê Thị Mai Linh. And this is the table of contents. We talk about levels of stress, word stress placement, weak form and strong form, and sentences stress. And now, let's start with Mai Linh. Mai Linh ơi, sao đấy? Mai Linh ơi, con bật mic rồi.
Quay lại luôn không? Quay lại từ đầu luôn đi, quay lại một lần luôn đi. Hay.
Chịu khó nha Linh. Để quay lại cái tôi xin lỗi. Để mình phải chờ lâu rồi nhưng mà nốt lần này nữa thôi. Quay lại nha. Ok. Rồi ra. Hello, we are Group 4 in Phonics and Phonology class. Today, we are presenting about Chapter 5, Stress in English. First of all, let me introduce my team. We have 5 members. Nguyễn Trần Phi Lê, and Lê Trần Viết Huynh, Chu Việt Khang, Phù Thị Linh, and Lê Thị Mai Linh. This is a table of contents. We talk about level of stress, word stress placement, weak form and strong form, and the sentences stress. Let's start with Mai Linh.
There are levels of stress. There are 4 main levels of stress: primary stress, secondary stress, hard stress, and unstress. For the sake of convenience, hard stress can be known as unstress, and both of them are usually referred to as unstress. Primary stress. The syllable with the primary stress is the lowest and longest syllable in a word. It has a very noticeable trail input on your vowel. In one syllable word, that one syllable gets the primary stress. Secondary stress. There are other syllables that are stressed, but not as much the primary stress. So they are loud and long. It trail input, but not as loud or as long as the syllable that gets the primary stress. The trail input on the vowel is not high and noticeable. Hard stress has no stress, but the vowel is pronounced with full dictionary value. Unstress, there are syllables that have no stress at all, so we don't use them and shorten them so much that the vowel in the syllable is almost completely gone. The trail input on your vowel is only the syllable, but it is there. Next is relate with her presentation.
So let's get started. We're talking about the 3 levels of stress: primary, secondary, and completely unstressed syllables. In English, some syllables are louder and longer, some syllables are shorter and more quiet, and some syllables are in between. And because every syllable contains a vowel, and remember, the American pronunciation of vowels requires a change in pitch, the level of the change in pitch also varies with the syllable stress. We're going to look at examples, so it's okay if you don't understand this completely right now, just stick with me. But it's the contrast between all these different levels of loudness, duration, and pitch that creates the rhythm of English.
And let's start with part 5.2 word stress placement, and talk about the stress pattern on simple words and derivative words. Firstly, what is the simple word? What is simple word? Is word which doesn't have prefix or suffix, or maybe also is a origin word. A simple word can have one or more syllable. For example, bell, below, beside, best, better, etc. And so the derivative words has suffix, prefix, and suffix, like meaningless, relationship, neighborhood, etc. Uh, English word thread is very difficult to predict since there are so many expressions. A single word form, either simple or derivative form, may have the primary stress on the internal syllable, the middle syllable, or the final syllable, depending on which word class it is and which component is combined with. The following are some common rules that help to indicate stress pattern in English words. However, there are quite a few exceptions to these rules. The first rule is in most two-syllable nouns and adjectives, the primary stress falls on the first syllable. For example, happy, clever, present, pretty. We have some exceptions such as advice, machine, alone. The second rule is in most two-syllable verbs, the primary stress for the second syllable. For example, begin, repeat, forget, enjoy. This rule is always true for verbs ending in ate, like such as repeat, donate, relate. We have some expressions such as answer, enter, happen. The next is words ending in ic, ish, icao. LTCs have many penultimate stress. For example, economics, foolish, fusion, dangerous, society, enormous. Word ending in graphy, G, C, E, T, P, usually takes the ultimate stress. For example, technology, geography, investigate, immediate, graduate. Derivative words ending in ment, sheep, meat, food, full, us don't have any stress different with the simple word. For example, meaning, meaningless, relation, relationship, neighbor, neighborhood, happy, happiness.
Rule number 4 for word stress. Prefixes and suffixes are never stressed. For example, in the word surprise, surprise, 2 syllables, surprise. The second syllable is stressed. Let's add a suffix. In, surprising. Still, the second syllable is stressed. Let's add another suffix. Li. Surprisingly. Surprisingly. Still, the second syllable is stressed. Let's add a prefix. Un. Unsurprisingly. Unsurprisingly. Still, prize has the main stress. Now it is the third syllable. Prefixes and suffixes are never stressed.
The final rule is the words that have the following ending typically take the ultimate stress: cis, track, self. For example, contract, Event. Maintain. Myself.
Two, 5.2.2 stress lessons on compound words. Compound words are what you get when you join two or more words together to get a new words with a new meaning. For example, butter and cup joined together. The two words joined together to form buttercup. This is a flower. Typically, an English compound words have two parts. Two different words combined together and to the identification of primary stress can be based on the morphological structure. Where do we normally put the stress on the first word or second word? For example, if you are working in the garden, you might have a glass house. This house called a greenhouse. Yeah, so we greens. But if the I stress the word house and to the void and say greenhouse. Greenhouse. Just describing the house and it painting in the green. When stressed on the first part, for compound noun, the first part is heavily stressed if the structure are as follows. Noun plus noun. Example, armchair, waterfront. For example, armchair. Here, arm and chair are both noun. They are two words combined to form a new compound word, is armchair. Same as in the other example. Now plus working. Example, first watching, film making. Verb in plus now. Sitting room, melting fall. Verb plus now. Google box. Killjoy. For compound adjective, their combination have the primary stress on the first component. Compound adjective always written as one word at a time. Carefree. Now plus inform, time consuming, repaying. Now plus participle. Example, peer shape. Health, really. 2. Main stress on the second part. For compound noun, the second part is primarily stressed in their pattern. Adjective plus noun. Example, deep state, fat food. Adjective plus working, central heating, soft landing. Particle plus noun. Plot property. Inverse markings. For compound adjective, primary state form on the second part in the flowing structure. Noun plus adjective. Example, fat breed, snow white. Adjective plus noun, long term, full length. Adjective or adjective plus particle, fully round, long side. Adjective or adjective plus inform, easy going, hard working.
To think about full form compared to weak forms, when I was preparing this video, I thought, how could I explain this to my students? Now, you could think about the full form as a photograph of you where you look very pretty, you've taken great care to look nice, you put good lighting up, and the weak form is just a photo in real life. This is what you usually look like. And here's an example of myself. The full form, a nice video, good makeup, a nice t-shirt, nice lighting. This is the word in isolation. This is you on your best day. But the weak form is the reality. This is what you usually look like when you don't take great care. And this is both me, but I look different, okay? And this is the same with full and weak forms. It is the same word, but the full form is the stressed version. And sometimes we can be stressed because we take care and we put on makeup and we do our hair. But when you're relaxed and The weak form looks like or sounds like. I hope this analogy helps you.
Thank you, Huỳnh, for the presentation. And now I will present to you sentence thread. So, what is the definition of sentence thread? A sentence thread in English is a way a speaker highlights certain words in each sentence. It helps the listener focus on important parts and understand the meaning, the speaker meaning. So normally the content words are stressed. For example, this sentence, walk down the path in the end of the canal. So, as the example has shown, the interval between each thread are similar to each other. Thus, we can summarize the basic rule of sentence thread as follows. First, content words are stressed. Two, structure words are unstressed. And third, the time between stressed words is always the same. So, why is stress important? So, stress is a useful way of signaling what's important in a sentence. It gives the listener a clue to listen to part of the sentence which are more important. If stress is not used or used incorrectly, the listener may misinterpret the intended meaning or have difficulty picking up important concepts. For example, with this sentence, I didn't say we should push Jake, and I didn't say we should push Jake. In the sentence one, the word I is the most prominent, and in the sentence two, the word didn't is the most prominent, which also means it was not the speaker suggesting that they should put Jake. It could be anyone, but not the speaker. In sentence three, I didn't say we should put Jake. The emphasis is on the word we, which means the speaker did not suggest that the group should do it, but to use someone else for it. And in sentence four, I didn't say we should push Jake. If the group should do it, but it would emphasize that the speaker did not suggest pushing Jake, but someone else. So why is sentence thread difficult? First, you can't choose where to place the thread in an individual word, but you can choose where to place the thread in a sentence. It depends on what you are trying to highlight. Stretching a different word can change the meaning. And the common problem in sentence thread include stretching too many words in a sentence, not stretching any word clearly. Knowing which word to stretch depends on the meaning context and what you and your listener already know. If you can hear spread in the speech of the person you are talking with, you'll be able to pick up what they think is important too. And that's the end of my presentation.
And for the last time, I will special time to some YouTuber to and we can use their videos to my presentation. Thank you for listening and watching. If you